Okay, we are live.
Hi. So we're back here with the Ivan Teller connecting to Titus. This is the third time. And Ivan is a channeler. I'm so bad at this. Come on, help me. And whoever wants to know about himself can actually contact Ivan Teller. I will be always answering questions for those who want to, of course. And this will be posted at the page sheet. And we start.
Greetings, this is Titus. Blessings.
Hi, Titus. Welcome back.
I am doing well, yes.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about it, actually. Thank you. So you answered it.
Yes, your astral travel has been quite busy. You are aware, but more busy than you might be of known. You're connecting to...
feel beaten up, actually.
Yes, you're connecting to many sun beings also. And many do this as they're attempting, well, I didn't say attempting, but they're assisting the earth, and working with the sun is one way of doing it. To let some of you know.
Yes, of course. So I'll be asking you some questions today. Maybe
Please.
Some questions will be answered. I wanted to discuss. People are kind of new to this, actually, but afterlife and how the process is from the perspective we know about, not the perspective that is written out there, actually.
The afterlife, how do you want this explained? So it's when you...
Moment of death.
Yes.
Yeah, I can start from there, because that is actually like walking out of a car into another. It's a transition.
Yes.
And it's funny because when I talk to spirits or so out there, they're like really skeptic about coming to Earth, and they're like, oh no, I have to forget everything I am out here to be born on Earth, and I will be born in amnesia, and I will forget all about my friends.
Yes.
And they're afraid, and when they live here, they have the same thing. No, there's nothing out there. I will...
Yes. You are correct.
Yeah.
Yes, they are the biggest skeptics usually of, oh yes, these are my friends and there's nothing out in the universe at all. Yes.
Yeah.
Just little insects here and there flying around, bacteria, and that is about it.
Yeah. Oh, funny.
There's no feline people or insectoid people. It's just a bunch of bacteria.
Yeah, or just a space without air.
Yes.
Or I
nothing can
close my eyes and that will be it. Nothing more will become of me. I didn't do anything great in my life.
The reason they do this is because they feel at home and they feel safe. When they feel like there's something else out there, it's like a much great fear grows in within that of thinking there is other lives somewhere else, and it brings discomfort to many.
A question was about when in the moment of your death, if it's not suddenly or by accident, you are floating out of your body and you can watch your body die.
Yes. Depending on your belief systems, depending on how you feel, what kind of love you have for yourself. That all has a lot to do with many things. You love yourself, you love others, and you're at peace. You will float out, no problem. You will leave, with no problem. But those that have a lot of anger and fear have a lot of, when they leave their body, it's easy to be taken to the wrong place. Happens all the time.
And I've also seen spirits or something that connects to the death experience just by coming in, and it's in the moment of death, and they're like, okay, I just need to try this. And so they're like attaching to the death experience to be not only a part of it, but also to get to maybe see, oh, this wasn't actually bad, or this was a funky way of dying, or something like that.
Yes, you can call it the Holy Spirit, your angels, your guides. Before death, they do come to you more clearly. And those that are ready to pass know. They just know. They might not always see these things, but they just know where they're going. They know everything will be fine. But those that have great fear have, troubled waters. Some do cross over. They go into the light, the tunnel, some call it, or another room, whatever you want to call it. It's different for everyone. Some go into a clown room. So it's all different, but a happy one, not a weird one.
Yeah, I know you will be, because I think I orchestrated that vision. You'll be, when I die, you'll be greeting me in a wheelchair.
Maybe, depending on how things are at that time.
Okay. Because I was like laughing from that vision. I can see you like,
possibility.
Come, sit here. Let's come with us.
That brings humor to you, yes.
It does, because of course it does, because that's my kind of craziness.
I wanted to put this out there also, that many do see your Yeshua, your Jesus, as a cross, and many ask for him. So that is good. That does help the healing process of crossing, of death. So Yeshua is called in all the time. So when you see someone in their deathbed and they do have an open heart to Christ, you can tell them he is there to assist, and some do just leave their body right after you say that. It depends on the belief systems.
I don't think I was like always like, I think, independent in that thought. I was like, I'm going to do this on my own anyway.
Well, that is fine, but some you realize that many religions are here and they feel very close to Jesus. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
When he comes through, he is a great assistant to take people to the right place. So, and it is him. There is not a false him. Some might feel that, but those that see a false version of him are already connected to much negativity. So. Okay,
so yeah. That explains actually a lot.
Yes, Archon negativity. Yes.
Yeah, because by telling people, please connect to your past lives or your galactic version of you, aspects and incarnations, it brings so much healing to you, because when you die and you don't know, the archons came and they ask you, do you remember about yourself? And then you view your life and you're like, actually, no, I don't know. And he said, I will tell you, just come with me. And then you followed him. So it's actually the thing Ivan does for people, explaining about these things. He gladly accepts to connect with people, and he can tap into that and give you the idea of what you have been. And it's, for me, it has always been correct.
Yes.
One another way, he has 99% correct. He will argue with me with the 0.01%, of course.
Yes.
But he's very accurate, and it brings so much healing. It does. And
Yes.
when you know, you also get the energy from outside, and it comes into you, and more of your lives reveal themselves.
Yes.
So yeah. I have a question about the difference between soul and spirit. Some people don't have the actually idea what the soul is, spirit, because it's named actually together in some concepts.
Yes.
They think it's one and the same thing.
One moment. Your soul, yes, is a spiritual energy, but your soul is from God. Your conscious energy from God, but you are God. And it is spirit is, you are energy. So this is your soul. Spirit is a way of naming your guides, spirit guide, spirit energy, but it's all energy in the long run. It can be separate, but it can also be the same. But it is of light. You are those that are skeptical of God, but they are connected to God, which is fine because of they do not believe it because they're of the ways of this world. It is quite understandable. What is in the text is a false one, of course, man-made. But spirit is you. It can be another energy, but for the most part, you are energy connected to the Holy Spirit of God. So, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, because then within this spirit soul, you have also life stories.
Yes.
And it's collected, and you can review it and look at it and see what you are in the universe and have been. And some are on their way to fulfill that, because it's already set in the beginning. It sounds like crazy, but it's like, how much energy do you have for this universe?
Yes.
And so you're like put out and you fulfill that role but you can also transform to something else from after that. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
A vision.
Well, your lifetimes are usually, some are 20, 30 lifetimes are already designed before your first incarnation. But you already set up it's like going to school. You have different levels in class. Some need to go to a Syrian world, a reptilian world, before they come into this reality. So you already some have thousands already somewhat planned out, not entire details. They know what their goals are for each lifetime. So the details they fill in before your lifetime. But for the most part, you are, especially when you have an incarnation, such as Mars, you meet someone you never knew before, you add them to your future timeline. Happens all the time in a next incarnation.
Yeah, I met a lot of person at Mars I've been seeing in my environment.
Yes.
So actually, I know you from Mars, but I can't say that because they don't know it.
They're not ready for that. A good amount, not all, but a good amount are Martian here. they are continuing their lifetimes. This is like Mars too for many. Yes, this is.
But it's fun for me to say it anyway because
Yes.
I've said it. And if they die and somebody asks, do you know anything about you? Yeah, I remember Daria said something about Mars. And some they can like grasp some small things from it, maybe. But really everybody should really have a deep understanding of themselves. And the more they connect to the small parts, the bigger picture. So it's
Yes.
kind of
But many here are from your Uranus, your Saturn, Pluto. Many are here from Pluto. Many are scientists from Pluto. That was an experimental world such as this one. Very similar one time.
That's a small planet.
Yes.
And I feel it's like a really small planet because when I have a vision of me sitting in Pluto, it's like a library behind me. I can sit in a chair and talk with people, and often in a library in Pluto.
Some are still gathering data from Pluto, especially if you come into this incarnation. You are grabbing data from these planets nearby. They're not there just for looks. You are still understanding your reality here. So if you need information, you go to these worlds. They're there for many reasons. It's not just there for just to twirl around.
Yeah, because if you watch how scientists want you to look at it,
yes.
it looks like marbles running around some balloon. It looks so. You have to like understand. Is it possible for that planet to be inhabited by life? And you have always to say yes, and then it starts to like making a picture of itself. If you say no, it stops.
Yes, these scientists that are studying these planets are here to add their data. As for, they know where to find the information to bring into your reality. Yes, they might not be bringing all of it, but enough, such as satellite footage, just what is minerals, whatever it might be, but still enough to help.
External, they watch the external view of it.
Exactly.
If they had been maybe making a device that actually can look like within, they'd be able to, or switching dimensions or everything, they'd be able to see it differently.
Yes, and also those that wish to go to Mars realize they've had more positive lifetimes there. You would not want to go to Mars if you had a negative lifetime there. So these ones with their space programs, which you go to Mars, is because they want to reopen themselves up to the happiness and bring that knowledge, because it was not an easy world, but it was a lot less complicated than this one. They want to bring that knowledge back or live it there.
But that planet was very masculine at one point.
Yes.
Very masculine. And then it started to also change for the more feminine aspect.
Near its later years, yes. But it did not last long enough for it to hold on. The planet perished during that time, but yes. No, it became.
So the marks on the Mars, actually they're not, it looks like a dust, crusty.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Some call it blue. It is not red, it is blue. It depends on your reality you're connected to. Because it did have water at one time. So
okay.
some are re-remembering those time periods.
You were, we were mentioning the soul and spirit, but people also have maybe problems understanding what the multidimensional being is. That people are multidimensional, and what is that?
It means, well, for example, such as a reptilian. They are quite common, not seen, but common in your culture through your certain anthology people, your David Icke, so I'll go there. Your reptilian can go to a small version to humanize it a little bit. They do have technologies that takes them to a higher dimension of fourth density, a higher version of fourth density. And some of them, depending on their vibe, because they are at a low vibration, depending on the reptilian. Many are of a positive. They don't have to use technology. They just go into that dimension. But you have fourth, fifth, sixth, on dimensions, and it becomes lighter in each dimension. In your fourth density, looking at third density that you are in, it looks somewhat like a ghost world in some ways. They can walk through your walls when they're in fourth density. It is just another world to them. But it is very populated in fourth density. But your beings can go up the dimensions, and you are multiple dimensional also. You see that in your astral connections. Some do. Most are not ready for that. They feel it's just a dream, but it is actually you doing these things. I'm talking to aliens and what it might be. But these are just, you can call them cloud worlds. It does get more, it gets more thinner. The negativity, because this dimension is very heavy.
So your higher self is actually a multidimensional version of yourself. It can be explained that also.
Yes.
Your future self is a higher self also.
Yes, those are in your
past.
Spirit worlds. Yes. Higher self is in your spirit world. Which is, you can give a number to that dimension, but you don't need to.
I've seen myself passing by in astral, like hello myself.
Yes.
Like shoo. It's kind of funny.
Yes.
Thank you for the information. Over to the next.
Yes, guys. You can call these cloud dimensions because it gets cloudy in this dimension when you're in a higher dimension. It's like in some ways like a ghost world to some degree.
Because I have memories of higher dimensions, yes. I think. And is it because I've been there? I feel like I came back to this.
Everyone has been there. They just don't remember it because they have to focus on this incarnation because they are in fear. They can always let it go, but most don't. Too much fear there.
And in high dimension, some people said that the fourth dimension is actually really quick. Like you feel the time is faster.
Yes, everything speeds up in each dimension. Yes,
but I think the time is actually being less because of the speed. I don't know. I feel like the time
depends
vanishing somehow.
It depends on what your consciousness wishes to experience.
Okay.
And you can experience whatever you wish. In this environment, you are given what you are spooned from this reality. But as you break out of this reality, we'll see more. You have more control over your reality in fourth dimension than you do here.
Yeah, I wish it would be today, but...
It depends on your earth consciousness. It must be more than just a few people that are aware of this. It must be billions.
Yeah, collective consciousness also.
This consciousness of love, peace, and that is very difficult for me to connect with.
If you lock your door at night, then it's not a safe place to be in.
Exactly.
So if you will be able to just go to sleep and don't lock the 3 doors you have there, then you have a better...
Yes, we gave this download to Ivan some time ago, but we will bring it up for you. Such as you go to outdoors, you go to the grocery store, you can always send your love out to those that are there and then visualize them more friendlier. Many are closed off and do their thing. That is one way of opening up your reality. Not to say that will truly happen. It might. Unlikely, because many are still restricting themselves to connect. But you can... The more you do this, you can even see those that are not good to connect with, but also those that are good to connect with. And see the more friendly you become with others, the more friendly they will become to you. But it does take some time for that to evolve.
Yeah, I live in a country, actually, they smile at you in the street, because I was born in another country.
Yes.
That was so, you pass the street, they were like, what do you actually do outside the street? You should be inside, because their mental picture was like that at the time. And I came here, I was like, people are smiling and saying hi, and I'm like so happy. And I
Yes.
said hi to everybody. It was a big, I mean, it was really nice to see actually the friendliness, but they're not like that anymore. Actually, they're withdrawn after some time. Of course, I try to smile sometimes, have a half crooked smile, but I try.
Well, there's a lot of dense energies at this time. Some are fear of terrorism. You see what's going on in your France. It is just a fear energy that's been done well by nefarious beings that are trying to disconnect humanity, and they're doing well at this time. But they will not be fully successful always. Humanity will come together. We do see that. It might take several lifetimes. It depends.
Of course, but it will happen anyway. I've seen it happen. I've seen that people will be curious and ask, and if they have a question, they ask. If they will be running in street and being totally stupid and like, look at me, and it's so funny.
Well, look at it this way. It's like coming up, like you are on a road in your timeline, and you come up to a fork in the road where you can go left or right. So some might go into a direction where they don't want to connect to everyone. But then many will go into a direction where they want to connect to everyone in a more positive way. So you're still going to have this disconnect here and there, but more will become more. I say that more and more, but
they have to see others succeed in that first.
Exactly.
To be able to do it too.
It has to be. Yes, it has to be added to your culture.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a culture of disconnect, and adding a reconnect takes time. Healing. So much healing, especially when your humans need to know more about their DNA of their alien connections.
Oh, I was going to ask you about my DNA.
Yes.
I have I've been searching for internet because I have a blood type rhesus minus.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, they have like scientists and theorists that will prove that this rhesus minus, you can't even make clone or synthesize the blood type. It's actually really, I don't know, it's just a theory. And I would like to hear more about maybe if there's some clues I get from my DNA.
Yes, it is. One moment. Positive Anunnaki DNA. Of course, many do have Anunnaki, but it is positive. It can be cloned, but it has to be done in a certain way. Everything can be cloned here. Also, positive reptilian. One moment. It's not seen in this universe very often. Is a positive energy. You can call it iguana energy, but it is of a reptilian being that has not been seen for some time. In your ancient times, it was here.
Yeah.
You're very connected to your Egyptians. I believe you are aware of that.
Yes.
So you have that in your DNA also.
Okay. Yeah.
You're very Egyptian. Even so, the skin type is still very Egyptian-like in some ways. It's still connected.
Cool. It means in the sun.
Yes, you have a lot of Syrian energies also. Some amphibian, but much is humanoid, but amphibian energies where you can connect as you are connecting now with astral. A lot of that is for the amphibian energies. and Anunnaki that's helping you at this time.
Cool. Yeah. So I've been having a lot of Anunnaki in my side vision lately.
And this is why you have a knowledge of your archons, is because you allow that to be known to you also.
Yeah, but I'm not fearing that anything. For me, it's like it always, it has been always like that. It's
Yes,
not you.
it was built in you to understand them. I mean, you already have it, but it's just many do have that where it's ingrained into you that there's nothing to fear.
People in this community often talk about infusions.
Yes.
Infusions from different alien species in channelings and in dreams or whatever. And did I have like these infusions, or do I need to ask first? Like,
well, let me explain it a little bit more before I go into your details.
yes.
Think of it as it's a light energy. Think of it as a drink of water, but from a spring that you've never seen before. A spring water that can help you with your IQ, help you with your eyesight, your motor functions. Can also, infusions can help you with past your chakras. So different entities have, your Lyrans are very much into the infusions. All of your beings are. But your Lyran is, because you are very much a human from the Lyran seed, human is still goes back to your feline, even with your Palladians and Syrians. When you take all of that away, it is all Lyran in the long run. And some of you might look like cats. If you take away everything else, you're just a bunch of cat people, basically, with no fur. You see that in your plastic surgery. When someone has too much plastic surgery, don't they look like a human?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yes, that is going back to your roots.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to look like a cat, please.
Yes, you are just a. You don't have the whiskers, but whiskers have been put somewhere else.
I just saw an image of the funny astral aspect of it. Yeah.
Yes, but as to answer your question, as for your, I believe you had Arcturian infusions recently. That is to help you heal during your astral travels. It's because when you go through your astral, you said get beat up, and so they assist you. It is like a energy touch, you can say. They use technologies with that.
Yeah, I felt like if I had a Dracula caskin, I would like really. I mean, I felt like I've been really busy. Yeah.
Yes, what it is like some beings can give you an infusion by just touching you, and some use technologies.
Like beaming also. I've seen the beamings. Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is a very harmless. It does some, well, there are some infusions, especially from reptilians, and some Syrians can have very intense infusions that really put you into an aggressive direction, because some Syrians are quite aggressive. You see your Sparta, that was very Syrian and very much Martian also.
I didn't know.
Yes, that was either way. And some of these infusions are done with DNA. Your reptilians know how to use these because they use it for your armed forces. It is some way like an infusion, but it is a third density version of it, where they infuse you with a reptilian cocktail, or there's much more to it than
that. It sounds so crazy. I was having another question answered, and they were saying I was kicking butt when I was a reptilian, because
Yes.
And I would really love to connect to that that story, because can you just say something that sticks out about the kicking butt reptilian story? I know there was a task of becoming something there.
But there are times where you've had several lifetimes like that. But understand, this was a friendly, I'll give you the friendly version of it.
Yes.
There were some that were not so much. But the friendlier version was to wake up reptilians and realize their potential instead of feeling like they're all bad. Many reptilians at one time felt like they were just, even the positive ones felt they were negative. They just felt, because they were reptilian, they were very depressed as a reptilian because they felt suppressed by other beings. Especially the Syrians did not like reptilians because reptilians have caused much trouble to their society, and they're still healing from that.
Yeah, there was a translation between the races were wrong and manipulated or perverted, actually. So they assumed always it was going to be that way.
Correct. And even on your Earth, you have seen some of this with racial problems. Your aliens have had similar situations, sometimes worse, where societies will be wiped out. Genocide, yes, because of this. But yes, you're a part of a reptilian race that was good at heart, but felt that they were victimized by their own race. Like, you're born a reptilian, there must be something wrong. You're going through karma, there must be something wrong with you.
Oh, yeah.
You were changing their minds. You were just going through all of them and said that's not the truth, because you were already connected as you are now. Many were not as connected as you are. And even if they were, they did not believe it.
I mean, you mean like awakened reptilian? Yeah. Okay, good.
It's another way of kicking butt. That's a nicer version of it.
Yeah, because you have to change the structure of belief system. It's actually what I do here too.
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to change people's mind about some things that has been perverted from day one.
Yes, humanity must know also that your reptilians were just as hard-headed as they are here. Of course, they realized that they were other aliens around them. But they're still hard-headed, thinking that they were bad, or they just...
Or better, in some thought, there was a history out there, and when they tapped to it, they were said to be, big, high up in the grades, and other aliens were listening to them, and then some point they thought they could be superior, also draconians, and you see it, and it happened in a lot of the high alien races, actually.
Yes.
The feeling of superiority and not including others. So, yeah.
Your Zetas have had the same situation, but they're unemotional, so that it just took it as data and just moved on from it.
Yeah, like my mother, she's funny because now she's changed after the last time I saw her in Astral.
Yes.
And she's becoming the little girl, in so to speak, again after being a Zeta for so long.
Yes.
And she had like this sad, grumpy mouth as
Very Zeta. Yes.
Very Zeta, but she had like the grumpiest mouth from Zeta I have never seen anyone.
That is karma.
Karma, like sad, angry mouth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, service to self. Zeta, always feeling they are right on experimenting, and no matter the repercussions of it. It did cause a lot of repercussions, but they felt that they saw the other side. It was assisting others, but still.
I knew this before I chose my mother. Yes. I knew about her story. Therefore, not that many choose her to be her mother, because they knew, okay, if I choose her, she will abduct me.
Yes.
I won't go in there. No, thank you. And nobody chose her, and she got grumpier or something.
Yeah, you are correct.
And I was like, come on, I can do that. Come on and abduct me if you want to. We'll
No harm
manage.
was done. Let's put it that way.
No, I know. It's added to the story. It's
Yes. Many
yes.
did not want to experience that, but many do have parents that are like that, though. She's not the only one.
No, of course not. No.
Some are far worse. Some have Zeta Reptilian, and there are parents at this time. They get very angry very easily, but they're very disconnected. Sociopathic in some ways.
But do I have any messages from my Earth Father? Like, because I haven't actually connected to him a lot after his passings.
Only he sends his apologies for not being there for you. He sends his love, of course, but he had a lot of misunderstandings during his lifetime where it forced his hand where he had to be the person that they wanted him to be. He could not be.
Yeah, I know, the Archons. I saw it.
Yes, he was not capable of being helpful as he liked to have been. So there's a lot of, but he says you were learning a lot from him and Astral, so that was all worth it. So the physical is part of his life, but he feels like you are reconnecting with his fields, but he knows you're reconnecting in Astral very much. And you're learning a lot from him because he went through a lot of stuff that nobody wanted to go through. I see.
Cool. I always saw something inside him.
Yes.
But he also was in the beginning of this universe, if I'm correct. Yes. One of the builders.
Yes, he went through a lot of experimental lifetimes that were not very pleasing to him, but helping others. It's like, if nobody else wants to live this life, I'll do it. And if I like it or not, it doesn't matter. So others would benefit from it. He did that many times.
And my son is also learning from him. I saw it. They were great connection there.
Yes.
So it's thank you for that.
Yes.
We can send him. I can send him. Was he a boar or a pig? I'm not sure. Boar or a general pig or a general boar?
He was both, but a general pig was the most popular one, but he was a boar at one time too.
Okay, so
pigs are a lot nicer.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And you were speaking of what you were speaking of earlier of his future or part of the universe. What was it you were speaking of?
Like the builder.
Yes.
In the beginning of this universe were coming. I saw like coming in, floating.
Well, at the beginning, it was very much an Archon energy. Yeah. Another reason why you know some of these things. But there's positive to them also. There's not all negative.
No, of course not. You can see the positive in everyone, even the bad ones. I often like to hang out with bad guys and bad girls because they give me so much. They have this experience that you wouldn't find in a scholar person.
Yes. Well, he says he came here as an Archon being his earlier lifetimes because they had the knowledge to build. They were one of the first builders here. Not all, but they were one of the first. Yes. They're because of all their knowledge, they are the most difficult to deal with. Even the Arcturians are actually more superior to them, but the Arcturians are still part of negative and positive, but they do dive into the negative a lot, but only because that's where the lessons are to be learned.
I can remember also being Arcturian and the teachings there. They were so. I mean, they were so. You can nag about school here, but
yes,
the school there was like top notch school, and there was no quitters. Yeah.
But also, he wants you. This is your father still speaking.
Oh yeah.
Of what it is that your Archons, you learn from the Arcturians. The Archons come and take that knowledge away. But then you go into incarnations to retrieve it, to reform yourself, to better yourself. That's another reason for incarnations, is to take that knowledge that was taken away and to find it again, but also become out stronger with it. That makes sense.
I also remember if you had a task and in your mind, if you tend to think you failed in the task, suddenly you were surrounded by teachers or guides. And it was so nice. You like in the instant of moment, if you just had a doubt, somebody was there for you to light you up and give you the good experience. And I had like this feeling that I'm walking here and I had a doubt in me. I was missing these kind of figures in my life that suddenly showed up and told me, because here you have to like find everything on your own. You have to dig in every corner and find clues and pieces and everything, and you're not giving the information like easily.
Yeah, in this world, everything's taken away, but it's for you to rediscover it, and that is the journey, and that is the power of this incarnation, which is very difficult to connect with. Is to remember to the knowledge is still with you. You just have to reconnect with it, and when you reconnect with it, put you on the timeline you wish to be on. Not to say that you are totally disconnected. Sometimes you have timelines where you need to be away from that knowledge because you're still gathering different types of knowledge. But some are the success rate, those celebrities, they are going through a different type of new knowledge, especially they are put out in the public and showing others how it is to be out in the public. But this is another way of letting your humans know that there's no secrets also, but nothing to be afraid of either. Because when you go into a higher density, everyone knows everyone's business. There's something you do keep secret, but for the most part, you're all open. It does help your vibration.
Yeah, you can laugh of everything, actually.
And you already know your own secrets already. You can pretty much figure it out. So.
Yeah, because I know in higher density, somebody asked me, but so what did you do there? And I'm like, do you want to know what I did there? If you want to know what I did there, I want to know something from you.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
And then like, okay, so we switched you didn't do that what I did. I did much more worse. And then you have a big laugh. And
yes, exactly. It's no. You're all human. You all go through the same type of things. Secretly, whatever it might be, how you put your deodorant on, whatever, your hair, whatever it might be, you all still connect. And this is another way to raise your vibration. As you become more open, your vibration does go up because there's no secrets anymore. As I said, there'll be a few, of course, but for the most part, you're an open book. That does help very much.
Yeah, I think I connect to that actually often, to the funny part of the experiences and
yes.
And
you have very difficulties with that, of everyone knowing your stuff, but you already know it already for some part. So it's just becoming more of an open book worldwide does help greatly. And it does. Those that are doing this terrorism on this world can be seen easier and healed quicker also. That is why it's there. The reason you're all boxed in is because is to keep this negative energy around all of you.
Yeah, because when I meet somebody, they're like an open book, and I'm like tapping into them, and I can see what they do. And there's because they said to me, because I wanted to show you these things. I don't hide these things from you.
Exactly.
And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Because people are so, I don't want them to know anything, and they're so closed, and they actually make this experience harder.
Yes.
And it means they're healed harder too.
Yes. Because you add to each other, the more open you are, you add to each other's information. You're just constantly giving and receiving. And it's a flow, a positive flow that raises your vibration.
But to know deeper secrets
Yes.
of one, you have to go up higher dimension, because you have to understand the level of the experience.
Yes.
And then you can be able, then you have to understand there's no ego there, there's no judgment. And actually many don't want to know, because they already like, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
But there's some.
Yes. The more knowledge you're giving to each other, such as your, what is it you're called? This Niagara Falls. Say like someone just went there. But if you're open, you're already open giving this knowledge to others. But as you become more open, your world becomes more positive. These people that you're talking to can go there whenever they feel like. Instead of waiting 6 months, they can, as you're talking to them, some of them leave their body and go there right as you're talking to them. They do that already. We become more knowledgeable of it. But you can also go there physically if you like and still talk to that person as you're doing that.
Like, for instance, viewing Ivan, and he's like having this cat at home, and I saw many from his are like visiting Ivan.
Yes.
With thoughts, actually. Yes. And they're in his house, like, what do you do? What do you feed your cat, Ivan? What do you do? And I was like, there as well, not because I'm so curious, I'm always curious, but
that's okay.
Yeah. And I was like, what are they doing here? They're like watching Ivan. Ivan was like, yeah, so what? I haven't had a cat before.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah,
sorry, Ivan. Yes. You will. Yeah.
Yes. And that would become more consciously aware. Yes, you're already doing it. Yes, we become more consciously, and it does help with great amount of things. Yes.
Yeah, because I have also visits here that I can see. What are you doing here? Okay, so you're out of your body. You think you are visiting. You're sitting in your living room and you're visiting me.
Yes.
Welcome. Do you find anything funny here? Yeah, funny. That's actually, that's also the multi-dimensional concept of you.
That is. Yes. What will happen is that the vortexes on your world will begin to open up as you allow them to open up. And your energy of your earth will shift into more of a positive state of mind. You are opening this up with your conscious energies, bringing in this more positive earth. As you go into fourth, there's another version of your earth that is in fourth right now that will go into fifth. So every version will go up. But this one, of course, is a very difficult dimension of third density, higher fourth, lower fourth, whatever you want to call it, does not matter. It is still a part of a third density energy matter. But there is much fourth here, yes. As you move into more of a fourth, many vortexes must be opening up. And also, your world will be terraformed also during this. When the time is right, you will be doing this consciously, changing things around, bringing more positive energies.
Yeah, because it's like also if you are, what is that name? If you are faking that you are making it with your thoughts, you're actually, thoughts are things. So you are actually doing it in some way. So, yeah. So you have to... I was watching a TV show, plastic surgery and everything, and I had like this vision. Why do all people that go to this show why don't they just believe in aliens and use their energy to make them come here? They can make great plastic surgery on your face, your body, etc. But they're waiting and like, come on, I have everything you want to. If you want to be a cat, I can make you a cat.
Yes.
Oh no, I don't want to believe in you. I just go and pay to this doctor.
Yes. And
make me botched.
Yes.
And like, yes, please. I would rather have that than that.
Mm-hmm. Well, they are remembering their alien lifetimes. They don't remember it. They used to do this. They've had lifetimes where they've changed their appearance all the time. Those that do plastic surgery all the time, they've had lifetimes where they're just constantly doing things. It's not
molding the faces, and I like to be no, ears, and I even in Astral at one point I was like in a spaceship, and I saw, sorry viewers, I saw women with big breasts, and I was like, what is this? What do you have breasts? No, it's a fashion on Earth. So
Yes.
I was no. It's contagious.
Yes.
And the haircuts, I was like, what are you doing now? Oh, it's a fashion on Earth.
Yes.
Wasn't it supposed to be like, yeah.
And other worlds are influencing this one, and so this one's adding its little flavor to it. So yes, there is a constant flare across your universe. It is quite humorous.
Yeah.
It is a constant flow, yes.
Yeah.
Such as buildings being made in skyscraper size. That is very Earth human, but it is on other realities. But many worlds are copying that to some degree.
So they like to live in boxes, sleeping boxes.
Yes, but they find they alienize it a little bit more, so it's a little bit more comforting, of course.
Yeah, I saw posters, I saw living rooms, couches, lounges.
Yes. Some are imitating the movies made on this planet, but also bringing much improvement to them greatly.
Okay.
But they are copying much of your films and music, but mostly films, because those don't seem to be going too well on this planet as for the creation process.
I love films. A lot of the films are channeled from Astral in here, and people are recreating it, and they're like, they don't even know they can channel, but they're doing
exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and I love to watch movies, and I'm like, I have seen this, I know this, and I love to tell people that this film is actually from there.
Yes.
And it's so funny. They're like, no, it's made from
imagination, which it is changed as it enters into this reality. It is changed for this reality to understand it, yes.
Yeah.
But much of it does come from other places.
I always love to watch movies. I saw myself like taking breaks from Astral, watching movies.
What your aliens are doing is taking some films that are done incorrectly and correcting them. Such as, if I have it right, what is that name of that? Oh, the one when the aliens come and wipe out humanity. I cannot come up with it.
Oh yeah, Independence Day.
There's another one that's much older, of your 1950s.
Oh yeah, my father liked to write a book, War of Worlds.
Not that one, but that is one of them that they are correcting.
Yeah. So
I do not have the name of it at this time. I can picturize it, but I cannot come up with it.
Oh, so funny! I would love to. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I saw a movie of myself somewhere, like fraction of it. So autographs later, people. Just kidding.
Yes, your humans on this planet are celebrities on other worlds.
They are.
But be surprised, their clothes are mimicked. Your way you do things are mimicked on other realities. Frog people do it all the time. Different humanoid beings do it all the time. Because they're learning from humanity. Greys do it every day. But they've created worlds to mimic this planet and to allow other aliens to visit there. They have like a theme park in some ways, but it's an Earth version. But they can come and see fashions and whatever it might be.
So they have clothes on there?
Yes.
Like wearing dresses and hats?
Yes. I'm not sure if you can imagine a gray dressed up like that, but some did.
Yeah, I just imagined. Thank you.
Oh, yes. There's like a yard sale in some regard because you see it's just set up in a way.
With no emotions in a
Yes,
dress.
with no emotions. Yes.
I just can't imagine that. It's so hilarious.
Yes, they take the data from this world and
I love
put
it.
it on other worlds for others to
So bizarre.
visit. Yes, before they come to Earth, they go to these other like planets to visit this before they.
Hats with flowers, like.
Because some do not believe when they come to this world this place even exists, because it is so opposite to other alien realities.
It is. It is. It's so, but it's like a mystic world.
Yes.
And you have to dig into it sooner or later. Everybody. Yeah. And we'll be stopping now, of course. We'll probably collect later.
No problem. I want to also, one moment, before I go, one moment. I want to give you a message that you are being healed in astral. You're still going through a great healing phase at this time. I can say that. And it is helping you. The more you connect with more beings, the more healed you're becoming. You've had lifetimes that were not easy. I believe you're aware of some of this.
Yeah.
And some of it was gangster-like lifetimes. I believe you have some kind of energy around that. But you were there as a light being to bring positivity around negativity. You know, you see a pretty little thing involved with gangsters, but you're there as to bring positivity into a dark world.
And enlightenment also, because I speak of it, they didn't believe it, but they do now in sort of way. They change the structure of mind setting, so it's all good. I know, actually, there's many versions to it, of course.
Yes. You're going through a great healing phase at this time. You're also connected. Yes, your guides want you to know about the elephant people. That you get very connected to them. And they will be visiting you shortly, is what they say. And if you're not, I'm not sure if you connected with them recently, but they will be appearing.
I heard goblins 3 times yesterday, and
your life with the elephant people is quite strong, actually.
Okay, yeah.
It's part of the foundations of this earth. They came to this world. Yes, I'm giving you a history lesson here. They came to this earth as the humans were brought onto this world. The elephant people, it's like, we already know how humans are in other realities. We're going to be here to keep them in line if that's even possible. But you can't have a world without us. If you're going to have a human there, we need to be there also, was what they said. Because humans can get out of control at times.
Of course, yeah.
As you see in this world.
Yeah.
And elephant people have been hurt by humanity greatly. Yes, by their tusks. And that humanity has much to learn. But they knew they were going to go through this. The elephant people, as long as they are here, the energy is here is what matters most. And they're still existent here, luckily. Humanity did try to wipe them out many times, but there's still alien intervention to keep them here. Because they are balancing this earth off. Balancing it.
That's really nice.
And you'd be able to connect to that. It is a healing energy that they are sending out to humanity. Because humanity, as you can tell, does not fully know itself. So it is brutal in its understanding. But the elephant people are bringing much assistance to that. I want to at least give you that data.
Thank you very much. It's appreciated. Of course.
Yes, because their connection here is quite powerful. So I just want to.
Yeah, they have. I mean, of course, they can. When you talk, you are like being like you go into a tube of sounds.
Yes.
So yeah. I don't think I have anything now. I'll be having a private later.
Yes. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Blessings
all
to you.
your people of this earth.
Yeah.
Thank you. understanding, and much healing. Okay, greetings.
Yes, you're back.
Okay.
You're back in this environment. Back
That's
again. Good. Yeah. That was really nice.
Yeah. Do you want to tell people how they can find you?
You can find me on Facebook. You can write just she and it will appear apparently, or through Ivan, or you can write some messages under the YouTube.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll put it in the description. I just thought of that. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm also sometimes answering people there.
Okay.
I'm floating in the couch or anything. I'm just watching, and I like to connect to approach people.
Yeah.
Too. So, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else?
No.
All right. Blessings. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Love and have a good day. Good night.